Hi, I'm here. Thanks for joining us today on Pet Health and Care. Today we're going to talk about those top 5 nutrition mistakes that we see all the time with our feline patients and what we can do to avoid them. So let's get started. No. One is relying only on dry kibble. Dry food is very convenient. It's easy to put out. You don't have to worry about refrigeration, but it is low in moisture, and most of the water that is contained in that food gets lost during processing. In addition, cats have a low thirst drive. They get most of their moisture from their food, so if they're not getting enough moisture in their diet, they can become chronically dehydrated. In male cats, this can lead to things like urinary tract infections or even blockage. So the prevention tip is to incorporate some high-quality wet food into your cat's diet. Wet food has 70 to 80% moisture content, and it is much closer to what a cat would consume in the wild. It's also much more palatable, so great for picky eaters. If your cat is not doing well with wet food, then maybe try a raw diet or a gently cooked diet. Those also have higher moisture content, and no matter what diet you feed, always have fresh water available for your cat. Mistake no. 2 is free feeding. Free feeding means that you leave the food down all day and your cat eats as they please. This can lead to obesity, and believe me, obesity is a huge problem in our feline population. It can also lead to other problems like diabetes, arthritis, and liver disease. Prevention tip is to feed your cat measured portions twice a day. The amount will vary depending on the life stage of your cat. So, a kitten, an adult, or a senior, as well as their weight and their activity level. It is also really good to invest in a kitchen scale to weigh your food and your cat to make sure that you're re-hitting the right amounts. And you want to monitor your cat's body condition score. That's a way of feeling for how much fat is on their body. We can feel for the ribs. We can look at how much fat there is around the belly. A little bit of fat is okay, but if it's starting to get too big, then we want to cut back on the calories. Mistake number 3 is feeding a diet that's too low in protein. Cats are obligate carnivores. They must have nutrients that are found only in animal protein. One of these nutrients is taurine, and taurine helps with heart and eye function. Another nutrient is arachidonic acid, which is an omega-6 fatty acid that helps with brain development, skin and coat health, and also immune function. Now, some commercial cat foods are too high in carbohydrates and contain too many fillers, like corn, wheat, or soy, and they may not have enough quality protein. The protein may also be lower on the ingredient list. Because it is not the first ingredient does not mean that it is high in protein. So, the prevention tip is to choose a diet that is high in protein with real meat as the first ingredient. Plant-based or vegan diets are inappropriate and unsafe for cats. And if you're having trouble choosing the right diet, talk to your veterinarian or a feline nutritionist to make sure that your cat is getting the protein that they need. Mistake no. 4 is feeding toxic or low-quality treats and table scraps. Many things that we eat can be toxic to cats. These include things like onions, garlic, chocolate, dairy, and even bones. Some of these can cause gastrointestinal upset. Others can cause more systemic signs, like chocolate and onions, which can affect the red blood cells. Other people may add salt or sugar to their food, which can increase their thirst and lead to that dehydration that we talked about earlier. And even some commercial treats can be high in salt, sugar, or preservatives. So, the prevention tip is to only offer cat treats that are labeled as safe for cats by your veterinarian or a veterinary nutritionist. And these should make up no more than about 10% of your cat's calories per day. So that means that those treats should only be given in moderation. And always read the ingredient label. Just because something is sold in a pet store doesn't mean that it is safe for your pet. And never feed table scraps. Even something as simple as a piece of chicken can cause So, mistake no. 5 is feeding a one-size-fits-all diet. Every cat is an individual and has different needs. What works for one cat might not work for another. So kittens, adults, and seniors all have different requirements. And cats with certain conditions like kidney disease, diabetes, or food allergies need specialized diets. So the prevention tip is to feed the appropriate diet for your cat's life stage. If your cat has a medical condition, then talk to your vet about whether a prescription diet would be good or even a custom nutrition plan made by a veterinary nutritionist. Annual checkups will help you and your vet determine if your cat needs a change in diet, especially as they get older and their needs change. So optimal nutrition is key to helping your cat live a long, happy, and healthy life. By avoiding these 5 common mistakes, you can help ensure that your cat stays happy and healthy. Remember to like, share and subscribe for more expert pet care content, and drop your questions in the comments. We'll see you next time on Pet Health and Care.